Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash,
Welcome to our playdate.
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast.
The Avengers.
No, it's a thing that exists.
So a Tesseract is a thing. Yeah.
I believe Madeline L'Engle wrote about it in A Wrinkle in Time. I think it is a legitimate, I don't know if it's like a thing in the universe or whatever, but a Tesseract is a thing that exists, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because I know like Mjolnir is a thing. It's not just a thing from the comic book. Like Mjolnir is the hammer from Norse mythology, right? Or a labyrinth is a thing from Greek mythology. It's not just a maze, right? It's not just that thing that David Bowie was at the end of. It's actually... Oh,
he was in it. He was on it. He was around it.
Yeah. So when they were like, I have this Tesseract, right? Like, in my mind, I had never heard that before. And I do read. So it's... so it was like,
now.
I've never heard now. Well, no, I was a big reader before, too. I stopped for a little bit, but I was a big reader in my youth.
Okay.
I was one of the best readers in my class. You know when they do that thing where like everybody reads a passage and then it goes on to the next person and you read a passage? Yes. I was so excited for when we did those because I knew for a fact that everybody was like, oh, I hate having to read out loud. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm a front on these fools.
No one appreciates it.
No.
Especially children. The only person who appreciate it was maybe the teacher. Yeah. And two, I can't. Like, I've even had, like, there was an audiobook I listened to. I'm not going to say which one, but the author read it, and I was like, I cannot listen to this person read this book.
Oh, wow.
Like, boo-boo.
Ooh. Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yikes. Like, it was painful.
And don't we usually like when the author reads it?
The book was good, and I love when the author reads their own book, but I was like, boo. You need to practice reading. Like, she ain't cute. She's stressing me out. Ooh, okay. I'm not going to mention who, but
yeah,
it was stressful. It was. If people know how to read well, it's fantastic. Anything less than that is my nightmare. Okay.
You good?
Just practice.
Yeah.
You can do it too. Just practice.
Yeah.
Reading aloud. It's fun and fun for everyone.
Yeah.
Read to your cat. Or your dog, or yourself.
They'll appreciate it. They like being talked at.
Yes.
Yeah.
They won't respond.
No.
They'll just put their ears back and be like, I'm not turning around. I'm not acknowledging you, but my ears are slightly back. So you know that I heard you, and I'm choosing not to respond.
I saw this cute comic where a dog is turning, and he goes, they've been gone for a long time, and the cat goes, who?
Fair.
Yeah.
Hey, little ghosties.
Hey, little ghosties. We have played Table Topics before.
These intros are getting longer and longer.
They really are, aren't they?
Okay.
I like it, but that's what the people are here for.
Are they?
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're doing Table Topics as our opener for Season 14.
We've done Table Topics, the pet version, a couple times, I think, with On the Road episodes, but this is our first time doing the actual Table Topics game, and the cards are beautiful.
Aren't they lovely?
They really, like, I would tile my house.
They're very pretty. That's
with
like
these.
Yeah, that's like my favorite color of blue.
It is a beautiful blue. It's like Tiffany blue and brown, which I love blue and brown.
Yeah, it's a good color
combination. And they're a
combination.
Really pretty pattern.
And this box. Well, I mean,
we
we'll
were
talk
talking about the box.
Later,
yeah, we'll talk about it later. We were talking about the box, so off
but
mic.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
This was given to me as a gift. By my brother a while ago, and they were like, oh, you like games and you like conversation starters, you can just like keep this on your table for whenever you have people over. Little did they know I don't have a table.
It is also pretty enough to keep on your
table. It is. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty enough deck to keep on your table.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah. So let's. I guess we'll pick one up and we'll answer the question cards, and we'll do a couple of those.
Sounds great.
And
Yeah,
if-
we like to do. If you're new here, we like to do a get to know you episode.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, just so y'all get to know who we are and basically why we are the way we are, for which we apologize.
Yeah. There's also like I know a lot of people. Allie and Dash have a podcast. Cool. Let's listen to it. Some of them might not want to start at season 1, but they can start off at we're gonna start off at season 7. But if they if they start from a game where hey, you're getting to know us at the beginning of every season, it's always a good jumping on point, right?
Which you would have to listen to.
Right.
Out.
So here we go, Allie. Our first table topic is, what was your favorite car of the last 3 decades? What was your favorite car of the last 3 decades? I think you've only had the one car in the last 3 decades.
I don't care about cars.
Yes.
I think Rolls Royce look pretty.
No, but I think it means your car.
I don't think that's what it means.
No?
No.
Huh.
I think it means what car do I like?
Oh. I guess you could take this however you want.
I like Rolls Royces. I think they're pretty.
They are
That's
pretty, yeah.
my only opinion about it.
Are the Rolls Royces themselves pretty, or is it the white wall tires?
No, it's just it's just a good looking car. Like, it just looks so regal coming down the street. I always know, I don't really recognize cars, but like I can always tell a Rolls Royce, just pretty. I don't like the new Mustangs, but I like the Mustangs that were out around probably 7 years ago. Like, they changed the design fairly recently. I don't like the new ones, but the ones that were out before that I really like too. Those are nice looking cars.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess it wouldn't have been from the last 3 decades. So that's it.
My favorite car that I've owned in the last 3 decades was my Mazda 3. I loved that car, and I was devastated when it got totaled in an accident. Somebody wasn't paying attention or whatever, and we stopped at a light, and they just hit me from behind. And at that point, I had just finished paying off the car, so when they hit me, the repairs would have been more than what the car was worth.
Yeah.
So the insurance company just totaled it, gave me my money back, and then I had to get another one. But that was my favorite car that I owned of the last 30 years. My favorite car that I never owned was the Dodge Challenger. That is the re-released edition of the Dodge Challenger. So it's like the old Dodge Challenger.
You had a Charger.
I had a Charger.
Yeah.
We had the Challenger when we went to South Carolina.
That was a fun car.
Wasn't that a fun car?
That was a fun car, yeah.
That was a super fun car.
Yeah.
And I had a Charger, which is basically the 4-door version of the Challenger, but it's tough to drive that car in Miami.
Yeah.
It really is. And I did have a Charger, which was a very fun, very me car.
Yeah.
When I got in that car, it was like, I think I even remember you saying it, like, yeah, this is a car for Dash.
Yeah.
This is a Dash car.
Yeah.
And I had that car and I drove it till I wore it out. It basically got to the point where I couldn't drive it anymore. And that's when I had to turn it in and get something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were 2 awesome cars. The Mazda 3 and the Challenger, which I've never had. But you can't have it in Miami. You really can't. The stop and go traffic, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting museum you've visited?
What's the most interesting museum you visited? I love me a science museum. I do love me a science museum because a lot of times they're sort of geared towards kids, so there's a lot of activities and stuff that you can play with. So I do love me a science museum. Vizcaya technically counts as a museum, and that was really cool.
I think it's more like a historical.
Well, it's called Vizcaya Museum and Gardens.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It technically counts as a museum.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's really cool. If you've never been to Vizcaya, it's like this giant mansion that they built down here in South Florida before there was a South Florida.
It's all like coral and
like,
huge. It's huge. It's huge.
Gigantic. And they
It's
rent it out for
gigantic
like parties
now,
and stuff.
but when it was original, it was even bigger.
Yeah, because
like
they've sold off pieces of the land.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Mercy Hospital and LaSalle High School both
Okay.
have pieces of the original Vizcaya
Right. Yeah.
estate
Mm-hmm.
as part of their.
Yeah. I remember when I'd be on
Their
the grounds
property.
of LaSalle High School, there would just be like these random coral walls. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, this doesn't belong here. And it's because it was part of Vizcaya.
Mhm.
So it used to be even bigger. But they've got this gorgeous. You know what? You've seen Vizcaya. If you have seen.
Yes,
Mhm.
I
It's in
feel
a
like-
million movies.
we were just watching a movie the other day, and the opening scene, I was like, "Is that Vizcaya?"
Yeah. Bad Boys 2, the climax takes place in
Iron
Vizcaya.
Man 3.
Iron Man 3 also takes place in Vizcaya.
You've seen it in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the scene where he's at a party and then he like goes outside looking for a giant fish tank. And I think it's funny because he like climbs over a railing onto a ledge, walks along the ledge, and then climbs back onto the railing. It was a completely pointless scene, but when you go to Vizcaya, it's a very obvious location. You're like, that's where this scene happened.
I'm sure if you get on your Google machine,
Yeah.
you could Google movies filmed at Vizcaya,
Yeah.
Miami,
Uh-huh.
and pick one and watch it, and
Yeah.
then tell us about it.
Mhm. And for a very, very long time, so many engagement photos and wedding photos.
There's a quinceañera there
Quinceañera, yeah.
every time I go.
Every single time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few places in Miami that people still just randomly take their quinceañera or 16s or wedding photos. Vizcaya is one of those that literally every weekend they're there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. If you're ever in Florida and you have some time, visit it. I definitely recommend. And the tour, we took the tour, and that's when I found out they have like a bunch of secret passages, and they have like this whole beautiful courtyard and tons of history. Like it's a pretty big deal. What's your favorite joke? Ugh, I hate this.
Man walks into a bar, the next guy ducks. That's my favorite joke. Favorite joke.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke.
That's a very good
Yeah.
joke. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. I have to tell a lot of really bad jokes for this like gig that I do every season. So right now the problem is those are the only jokes I have in my head because there's just so many tree jokes. They're jokes about trees.
Yeah.
So I just have tons of those. I think my favorite one of those is what was the tree arrested for?
Arson? I don't know.
Yeah. Shoplifting.
Mm. No. It's a hard no for my dog.
What? But why was the tree kicked out of the military?
I don't know. Why was the tree kicked out of the military?
For being absent without leaf.
You want to do one more to rule?
Yeah,
of three
let's
this
do it. I
thing?
mean, it's got to be rule of 3. Yeah, how do trees get on the internet? They log on. They're terrible jokes. They're really bad. Kids hate them.
What advice would you appreciate from a happy and successful 80-year-old?
Ooh, what advice would you appreciate from a happy and successful 80-year-old? I guess it would be like, what if I knew what advice they would give me? I would just have the advice. I wouldn't need their advice.
What?
But I guess I think this is phrased weirdly, but I think it's like, what question would you ask a happy and successful
Correct.
80-year-old, right? But it says like, what advice would you appreciate?
Right.
Then I would know the advice.
I would appreciate advice about
Mhm.
is the answer.
Okay.
That's
From a
the
happy and
sentence stem that you might want to use to respond to this prompt.
happy and successful. What I guess the advice I would want to know is, what would they choose not to do if they had to do it over again? That would really be the question, I guess.
What are their regrets?
Not regrets, but just like, I've wasted my time on this and I could have been doing something else, or I wish I would have done this sooner, but instead I did this other thing, right? Like, so how many people get stuck in their dead-end jobs and are just there because that's where they started, and then they just sort of worked upwards in that job, but then they get fired or laid off one day. And think about all the people that you know that get like let go from our job, and then you see them a couple months later and they're like, dude, that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Yeah, literally everyone.
Literally everyone I've ever talked to. But it's like you're comfortable and you're secure until you're not. And then you go out and you get something else and you're like, wow, I was just kind of doing this, you know? So I guess, yeah, that's the advice.
Okay.
Yeah, what would you not do? What about you?
From a happy and successful 80-year-old, I guess at my current moment in life, I'm interested in how to balance everything. How do you make sure that you are cultivating relationships? How do you make sure that you're civic minded and engaged? How do you make sure that you're taking care of yourself? How do you make sure that you have time for your chores and your work responsibilities? How do you how do you manage all of that in a way where you're able to do all of those things with maybe not with joy, but without feeling like, oh, I'm sacrificing time for myself so I can do this, or I should be working on that, but I have to do this other thing. Like, how do you strike that mental balance of like, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna be engaged in this moment, and then I'm gonna do another thing, and I'm gonna be engaged in that thing, and I'm not gonna feel bad about doing a thing or not doing a thing, or being a place or not being a place. Yeah.
All right, cool.
How do you disengage from the feeling of constantly having to be productive, maybe is the question. Yeah. Which in my mind, that would be a successful 80-year-old, is someone who is able to disengage from feeling like I need to constantly produce something to have self-worth.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Believe me, I get you. Yes. Allie, who is the scariest movie villain of all time?
Scariest movie villain of all time.
Who is the scariest movie villain of all time?
Gosh, what a good question. I mean, Jaws is terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Jaws is terrifying.
I feel like I've never gotten over Jaws.
I'm trying to think of like what scared me as a kid. Yeah, Jaws is absolutely terrifying. I did just watch a movie called Mountain Head. Everyone in that movie is a terrifying nightmare, except Rami Malek, who is a slightly less terrifying nightmare. So all of those people are absolute horrific nightmares. Like, I felt like I needed to take a shower after I watched that movie. Disgust. Just pure disgust. But there's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Like, I feel like Pennywise is probably pretty terrifying, but I've never seen it.
Well, because Pennywise isn't the actual villain. It is a.
I've read the book.
Okay.
Dash. You don't need to.
So I don't need to explain it to you. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Pennywise. Yeah, the clown is a thing. Yes.
Yes.
So I guess. Yes.
I've also never seen like Misery. I feel like Kathy Bates is probably pretty terrifying in Misery.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Comic book villains. Yeah, I don't really.
No, there isn't a single.
No, they're
Lex
not that.
Luthor kind of freaks me out. Because he doesn't have any powers. He's just a rich psychopath with, just wealth and power. He becomes president of the United States at one point.
Those people are terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. So I think I could say Lex Luthor. I think I could say Lex Luthor.
That's
just
solid.
because, yeah. There's just no.
That's solid.
There's no stopping him, right? Like, yeah. I actually read a series one time that was focused on Lex and why he has the hatred for Superman. And it was actually one of the better Superman comics I've ever read. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite stock pick? No. I don't. What? No. Stock photo? Do you have a favorite stock photo, Tash?
Do you have, man happily eating salad for some reason? Like,
it's a solid one.
Yeah. I actually
woman holding plate of breakfast. Brunette woman holding a plate of breakfast food.
I do have, since I do have to look through stock pictures for work, I have a folder called Funny Stock Pick. So every time I come across one, it's like, why would anybody need this? I put it in that folder. I'll share it with you at some point. Great. Maybe I'll put it in our carousel. We'll see. I don't want to promise you, but you should go to our Instagram, and maybe you won't be there. Who knows? Stock, like I don't have a favorite stock pick. I don't play the stock market.
I don't either.
I don't know. From what I know about the movie Trading Places, you should probably do
Buy low, sell high. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
pork bellies,
who cares?
orange juice concentrate. I don't know. If you were to pledge to serve the country, what would you do? If you were to pledge to serve the country, what would you do?
I feel like I already have, and it's teaching the youths.
Yeah. Teaching the youths
to be critical thinkers and communicators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
'Cause, I mean,
yeah, media savvy.
yeah.
Learning. I actually, you know what? If I had to
just
serve my country,
to understand how to communicate a message, and also when you receive a message,
yeah.
to think about how that message is structured
Mm-hmm.
and what someone is trying to get you to do or not do with that information.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I am serving my
fair.
country by doing
That's
that.
fair. AI has gotten so scary recently with their video creation that now it's starting to look wicked real.
I really struggle with like AI videos.
Yeah.
Like some of the training videos that we have to watch, they're AI. I can't look at them. There's like a weird disconnect between the sound. I really cannot do it. Please stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop doing that.
Yeah.
There
But
are plenty of people you could pay to do that.
But that's the thing. They don't want to pay somebody to do that. That's
I don't
exactly
want to
the reason
look at
why.
it.
Yeah.
I don't want to look. It makes me feel that's the worst movie villain.
Yeah.
That. It makes me feel so unhinged.
Yeah.
Like it really makes me feel like I'm an insane person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh.
So that is the, like, as of the recording of this episode, they released a fully AI created commercial. I don't even know what it was for. It was some sort of betting application or betting website that I don't remember the name of because I was so focused on the AI video that accompanied it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was horrifying. But now you have a video that was full, that you didn't have to hire extras, you didn't have to hire catering, no camera people, nothing. You just put some words into a thing. You wrote the script. The script was written by AI. It was everything.
Yeah, but you don't remember what it's for.
I have no idea what it's for.
So
Yeah.
is it doing the thing it's supposed to do?
No.
No, it is not.
No.
Done.
It's getting shared a lot.
So okay, so AI exists. Yes. What are you gonna do?
Destroy
make a
AI.
pledge to your
I'm gonna
country.
be the guy in the movie that goes into the giant Cyberdyne building to blow up the AI computers.
Okay, get all the people out first.
Yeah, get all the people out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, what people? It's AI.
There's people there.
What's funny is
tinkering and
if you remember the old Terminator movies, like the Cyberdyne building was this giant building or whatever. It was so futuristic with like all this stuff. Like really, it's probably a thing like this big now. You don't need the giant building, but you know, that's what movies did in the 90s and 80s. One more?
let's do one more. Oh, it's my pick.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Oh, these are thick. Okay. What's your favorite candy?
So hard to choose. I think it goes in phases, right? Like it just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Nerd. You were super into the nerds.
I was super into nerd clusters, but now
yeah.
I've tried. Like I was starting to gain weight again, and I was like, no, because these are way too easy to eat and so dense with calories. But they are they're the perfect snack food. They're not snack food. They're the perfect candy because it is crunchy and chewy and sweet and tart at the same. You get a little bit of everything. So I was really into gummy clusters for a while. Nerds gummy clusters. I love me a Snickers because it's it's got the nougat, it's got the caramel, the chocolate, the nuts. It's got all of it. I love me a Milky Way, a Twix, a Recess. I think if I had to pick out of all of those and just pick one, Reese's.
Yeah,
Reese's?
Reese's. Yes, the peanut butter cup or the pieces.
The peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a candy person. I'm a chocolate person.
Mm-hmm.
So, of the chocolate, I mean, I do think chocolate peanut butter is like the best flavor combination that exists on earth. My favorite ice cream is chocolate peanut butter. But I would have to say my favorite candy, like candy bar, is it goes between Kit Kat and Twix. Like sometimes it's Kit Kat, sometimes it's right now I really want a Kit Kat.
Ooh, okay.
But a Twix is also just
Twixes are good,
it's a
man.
thing of perfection.
Okay, you know what? I know.
But just regular. Yeah. I don't want the crazy flavor. I don't want any accoutrement.
Yeah, you don't want to go wasabi flavored Kit Kat.
I just want a snack size Twix. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. Left or right?
Snack size Kit Kat. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're the same.
There's we all know that in Japan they love their Kit Kats and all the different flavors of them. Yeah, it's like a huge thing. Yeah.
I had a wasabi one.
Mm-hmm. I had another one recently that was like key lime Kit Kat, and I took a bite of it and I was like, oh, yeah, this does taste like key lime. But what? How weird? What? There is a seasonal candy that I just thought of that might be my favorite. And I don't know if you ever had to do the fundraising for your school.
Yeah.
Those like world's finest chocolates.
Sure.
That were $1. I had to sell those, and I ate quite a share of them. I like the almond ones as opposed to the plain ones, but I kind of love those to the point where when my nephews were selling them, I bought like $10 or $12 worth.
I mean, it is the
just
world's
to keep
finest.
them around. It is world's finest.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Have you bought them recently? I guess not, because you
No.
don't really eat candy. They've gotten half as thick. So they used to be $1, but much thicker, and now they are half as thick, still the same length, but are still $1. Because they know nobody's going to pay more than that for.
Well, good
the
for
candy.
them. Good for them. Working out, eating right. Good for them. Last one.
Okay. Here we go. Let's hope this isn't a super deep one, or we're going to be on this
Right?
forever.
It feels like the cards are really thick.
Yeah. If this Friday could be a holiday, what would you celebrate? Payday.
It's Friday the 13th
It
and
is Friday
payday.
the 13th,
So you celebrate by, instead of just streaming a horror movie, maybe you rent one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Definitely it'd be a good time to watch Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. So we're recording this Friday the 13th is Friday the 13th is upon us.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that might be fun.
Yeah.
Watch a summer slasher
Mm-hmm.
and just celebrate getting paid and being alive this summer.
Yeah. I like getting paid, even though I don't see a dime of it anymore. It just comes in and goes right out.
Can I tell you something that blew my mind the other day?
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to a young person and
A ute.
and they were saying like, oh, I love paying with cash because it's not real money. And I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking? That is real money. Like, you can touch it. You can and you see you're giving it to a person. That's real money. And they were like, no, when I pay with my debit card, I see my balance going down.
Yeah.
That's real money. And when I tell you this blew my mind, I still think about it. This happened like several weeks ago, and I'm still just like, gosh, isn't real money? Like, it's blowing. It's blowing my.
It's almost flipped, hasn't it?
Yes.
Like because you see
I
real
was
time.
raised that cash is real money. Like I mean, when I was young, I didn't have a credit card or anything until I was in college.
Yeah. Same.
And even then, I didn't really use a credit card. I guess I used my debit card more, but that never felt real to me. It was cash.
Yeah.
Cash felt real. So like if I'm gonna pay with cash, I'm really doing this thing.
Well,
and now it's completely flipped, and it really blew my mind.
We have some Utes listening to us, but there was a long time where stores didn't take debit cards, and banks didn't release those like debit Visa or debit MasterCards that we have now, right? Like we had our debit cards, but you had to go to an ATM and get out cash.
I used checks forever.
I did use checks also, yeah.
Yeah.
There were some things that you could only pay with checks, and credit.
Money order.
I still remember when McDonald's started taking credit cards as payment.
Wow.
Because there was a lot of times where I wouldn't go to McDonald's because I didn't have cash, all I had was a credit card, and then then they started taking credit cards. So I was like, well, this is basically free. And then now it's sort of flipped the other way around, where I'm just like, oh, well, I only have $20 in my account. Oh, wait, I have some cash on me, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it really has flipped. It's like so wild. And like for someone to just articulate it so clearly in that way, I was just like, I need to sit down.
Yeah.
I got to take some Advil. My bones.
I think it's, you know what I think it is? I think it's because the money that is in your account, not only do you see it going down as you use it, but you're also accountable to somebody else. If your money drops below a certain point, they will fine you for taking too much money out. So you're constantly aware of where that is. But with cash, you're only accountable to yourself.
Yeah.
I have $20. I can spend those $20, and the only person I have to take into account is me.
Yeah.
I don't have a joint bank account with my partner that I have to take into account. I have cash, right? I don't have...
This is my secret fun money.
I don't have to worry about being overdrawn because, I don't have to worry about anybody seeing that account.
It's just wild.
Isn't it? It's wild. You're suddenly accountable to a bank or to another person, where with cash, it's just like, ooh, this is just what I have.
Yeah.
This is just me.
Wild.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And we've seen it flip in our generation. That's nuts. You and I went from a generation that had nothing but cash and checks to a generation that has so many different ways to pay that some of them are just straight up false and people are still using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, let's rate this.
Let's
First
rate
time
it.
ever doing table topics.
So I love the cards. I want to tile my kitchen with these cards. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're square. They're Tiffany blue and like a beautiful chocolate brown.
Yeah, and this like
They have a
filigree
beautiful
design.
pattern on them. Maybe we'll post a picture of the design. They're gorgeous. They're stunning. I'm gonna give them a Tiffany box because they're just. I mean, they're so stunning.
Yeah.
And then they come in this clear plastic box. Before we started off mic, we were saying that I feel like if I put my hand on the box and say an incantation, like a magic portal will unlock, like light will shoot out of it, and like a portal will open. It's very cool.
Yeah,
and it is beautiful. Like you could put this on your table.
You could put it on your table, and I think that's how they designed it. I think they designed it in that way because it is table. It's table topic. So I think. The idea is that it is so pretty you can actually use it as a centerpiece or something on your table and it wouldn't look out of place.
Yeah, it's very cool and very easy to play. We've played it before. I like that the questions are worded the way they are because they are open to interpretation.
Yeah, which just
so I do like
more
that.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Playability, super easy. You read the card, you answer the card.
Read a card, answer card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a pop quiz full of answers you already know.
It's not even a pop quiz. It's way less stressful.
That's what I'm rating it.
Way less stressful.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. We're gonna rate the box a Tesseract. That's
yeah,
what
a
we're gonna give
Tesseract.
the box a Tesseract. It's pretty when the light shines through it.
I
Okay,
know.
I'm gonna stop
She's
staring
distracted
at this
by the box.
Squirrel. Welcome to season 14, little ghosties. If you've been with us the whole time, thank you. If you're just joining us, welcome.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you.
We're happy to have you. Tell your friends about us. Yeah. Let us know again. Give us your comments, questions, subscriptions. All that stuff helps the algorithm and helps to get us more views, and eventually will get us hopefully monetized so we can get even cooler games for you.
That's right.
Yeah. And let us know your game night stories. Anything cool that happened on your game night? Maybe your cousin proposed to your other cousin. Write to us. Let us know. We'd love to hear it.
We would. I think. Yeah, you can connect with us. You can email us. You can send us a DM. You can comment on our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You can comment on our show on Spotify. You can do all the things. And we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So until next time.
You'll see us then.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy.
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
circuspod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
My ear's starting to hurt my earring.
Oh, yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, you're wearing the big earrings today.
Yeah.